Now, all I was told is, and believe you me when I say this, it's a hard job and a big one.
Welcome to Snamatela.
We've just come off of the cut line. I am here with my mate John O'Brien, and he's allowed me to use their weight machine so I can get a weight on this vehicle at Sereth Logistics. So it's been a very interesting day weighing up the Ford Ranger, and I've had to use my little notebook so that I can get this right for you, because it is quite complicated. The gross vehicle mass for this vehicle is 3,200 kilograms. So that is with it fully loaded, that is the restricted weight, or the highest weight that it can get to on the standard suspension and on the current chassis. The tare is 2,054 kilograms standard. That's the current weight of the vehicle with the buck or bin, and with no modifications or additions made to the Ford Ranger. So we put it on the weights. We did a full body weight of the vehicle, and that came out to, including old Jono driving, 2,880 kilograms. Then we did the front axle and the rear axle. The front axle weight with Jono in is 1,370 kilos, which was quite interesting because I didn't realize this, but the rear came in heavier at 1,500 kilograms. That might have something to do with the RSi tray. Look, it is made out of steel, so it is going to be heavy, and it's 325 kilograms, which is still lighter than my previous setup. Bear in mind, it is empty and unloaded. So what does that all mean? Well, if you take 3,200 kilograms as your gross vehicle mass, or GVM, and we subtract it from the 2,880 kilograms tare, then I've got 320 kilograms left to play with. That would be on the standard suspension. I do have Old Man Emu, so there is a GVM upgrade with that. I think I've got 400 constants at the moment. So guys, if you do have the chance to weigh your vehicle, make sure you do. It is a very interesting exercise, and I was actually quite surprised at the fact that the rear axle weighed heavier than the front. So yeah, very interesting. What we're going to do, guys, is once we have the RSi tray and canopy fully decked out, we'll be back here, and if Jono will allow us, we'll reweigh the vehicle just to find out exactly how much the new modifications and additions weigh in the total context of everything that we've done. Right, we're on the inside of the canopy and tray system, and I just thought I'd show you what the next couple of weeks entail for getting the smart tray and canopy combo overland ready. It's a bit of a big job, and there are a couple of big changes. I suppose the first big change is moving over from lead acid batteries over to the lithium batteries. We've just gone and purchased a Blue Nova 108 amp hour lithium battery, and I think this is going to be a game changer. The reason I've gone lithium is just because it's an efficient battery. It both discharges and charges at really great rates. We've also gone then, and as a result of getting the lithium, we've had to update our whole electrical system to Victron. It is a really big brand name and a very, very, very expensive product. Something that I'm happy to have purchased and looking for big changes. We have the MPPT, which will allow us to plug into solar to be able to gain that charge. We have smart shunts. We have the DC to DC smart charger, and we have an AC to DC charger as well. And we also have the 500 watt pure sine wave inverter. A really nice positive to all of this, whilst weight saving, the biggest plus I reckon is being able to access all of your electrical analytics, stats, charging status, discharge status, all of that accessed via Bluetooth on the phone, which is a great and future-proof solve for the kind of overlanding that we do. Another great addition, or couple of additions to this RSi tray and Canopy, is going to be a whole new lighting system. A big shout out to 4x4 Factory for sending through a whole bunch of steady kits, a whole bunch of new lights that are going onto the Ford Ranger, and one that I'm really excited about is the rock lights that they've sent. Now look, this is a lighting system that's designed to be fitted underneath the car for those people who like going out there and rock crawling at nighttime and seeing what they're up to and what the wheels are doing. This system is going to be completely installed into the RSi Canopy. One of the great things about this as well, and a great future proofing on the product, is it's also Bluetooth enabled and accessed. We are here at 4x4 Megaworld Strijdom Park. 4x4 Megaworld Strijdom Park is helping us out with our electrics and helping us deck and kit out the RSi Smart Tray and Canopy combo. We're stretching this fitment out over the next 3 days, so hopefully I can bring you guys some information that might help you and save you on your next overlanding trip. You know, one of the things that the guys are looking at and helping me with is we've got a whole bunch of new steady lights from 4x4 Factory SA. So the guys are going to help me fit with the wiring harnesses and just do it correctly. Also, 4x4 Megaworld Strijdom Park is a dealer for the steady brand lights from 4x4 Factory SA. So if you guys are keen and interested in those lights, the steady ones, then you know, get a hold of the guys at 4x4 Megaworld. They're only too keen to help you out, and their fitments come with a great warranty. I'm looking forward to getting it sorted out. You know, that's going to entail us putting them on new switches, pulling out all the old wiring and redoing the wiring. So things like override switches on main headlight beams, those sort of things that I'm keen to try and get rectified, just to make it a little bit easier out there, and probably more so than done the right way. And I think that's kind of where we should all be as people that like to adventure and get out there, and especially someone looking to modify their own vehicles. Look, I'm not the kind of guy that knows the electrical ins and outs of fitting these sorts of things, so rather get the guys that know what's going on. 4x4 Megaworld head office reached out to me the other day and said, listen, would you be keen on trying out one of our new fridges? So they sent over the ARB 96 litre zero fridge. It is a new range, only entered the country 2 months ago. So by the time you see this, it's would have had a little bit of traction in the country for about 3 months. Look, this fridge is 96 litres. So it's the largest fridge on the market at the moment. I'm really keen to test this thing out there in the wild whilst overlanding. But first, let's unbox this bad boy. Okay, so what's really nice is straight off the bat, it's got a cardboard protector on the top, and I'm pretty sure it'll have decent protection on the inside of the box. This thing is so big, I've had to get my brother-in-law to come and help me get it out the box. It's massive. If there ever was quality in what you're looking at, then this would definitely be it. It's got a very soft to the touch plastic and rubber inset, so you can put your drink holders here. It's a dual compartment fridge freezer option, so you can either have that size as fridge or freezer, or this side as fridge as freezer, depending on what works for you in your layout. Okay, so day 2 and we're back at 4x4 Megaworld Strijdom Park, and today we are fitting the electrical box that obviously has all the Vectron units. It's busy in here to say the least, so I hope you can hear this audio wise. Just looking forward to getting this electrics in. It looks mint. The guys have done an absolutely fantastic job. Yeah, and I just can't wait to show it to you. Yeah, just all the wiring.
Need to get these wires outside. That's your input from main battery that needs to go outside. Once we take the board apart, I know what to fit where, so I can just increase that.
Okay, so we are back at 4x4 Megaworld Strijdom Park, early morning again, and tomorrow there's a lot to get done to the Ranger, but I want to show you this. Check this out. So we have 2 electrical panels going in.
We've got the main Vectron unit going on over there on the passenger side of the vehicle, which will obviously gain easy access to the power into the fridge. And then we've got our secondary charging station on the driver's side. They're nicely powder coated and they look really, really clean, and great work to the team at 4x4 Megaworld Strijdom Park. Neil is the magician when it comes to electrics. I have no idea what he's doing, but it just looks fantastic.
I'm fitting the plugs, the USB plugs, the hella plugs, and the lighter socket for the charging ports and whatever you wanna run off it, and plenty of it. One-on-one in soldering. Don't look at the camera, but smile.
Just a piece like that.
Okay, so a lot going on today. All the noises, I hope you can hear this. But yeah, everything seems to be fitting and looking lekker. There are a lot of moving parts here. The custom fabricators are busy fitting the flooring, making sure that that all goes in and lines up quite nicely. We've got the drop-down fridge slide going in, the ARB 96 litre fridge, which is an absolute monster, and I can't wait to test drive it. That's also got to go in, and a whole bunch of electrics and lighting. A very big day here at 4x4 Megaworld, but it's coming along nicely. It's looking very good. So there's a lot going on in the workshop, and I just thought I'd try and find a quiet place to have a quick catch up with you guys. Flooring's gone in and it's looking really great. It's looking really fantastic. There's a lot of custom stuff that has to get done after fitment, and what's really exciting is that drop-down fridge slider has gone in. Now the trick with that drop-down fridge slider is, because of the height of the fridge and the shape of the gull-wing doors, we've had to give the drop-down fridge slider an extra 120 mils, which itself is on a slider. So it'll slide out 120 mils and then drop down. We did a rough test on it yesterday and it ended up looking really great. There's also the steady rock crawler lights that I'm going to be using inside the canopy just to see how they operate and work. So that's got to be fitted. All the electrics redone, the Victron unit power management system, all fitted, and we've got a whole bunch of new sockets and plugs for charging all the camera gear and everything. So really happy with what's been happening and how it's all beginning to come together, but a lot of work, and absolutely a lot of work. Yeah, some really nice things happening. Stay tuned, let's see how this one ends up turning out.
How heavy this is? It's about, I don't know, probably about 40 kilos.
So we've obviously left 4x4 Megaworld Strijdom Park, and I thought I'd do a walk around and show you just what we've done to get the Ford Ranger and the SmartCap tray and canopy overland ready. Let's have a look. So starting on the gull-wing door on the passenger side, we've obviously gone and put a whole new plate in the back between the driver's side and passenger side, and we've put on the passenger side, we've put the Vectron units. So our whole electrical system is set up here, and what's really nice about this unit, and something that's very new to me, is having the visibility to all your fuses. So if something pops, you can just replace it. I really love it. One of the biggest things to this build was being able to fit the massive fridge slide in this new ARB Zero dual zone fridge. It is a monster, and it was quite a challenge. But let's open this bad boy up and I'll show you how it works. The drop-down fridge slide, look, it works. It's nothing too fancy. What was quite interesting though is we had to add that extra 120 mils just to slide out. It does the job and makes it a little bit easier to get this thing in and out of the tray and canopy. If anything, this fridge and drop-down fridge slide, it just takes up a bit too much space, if I'm honest. The biggest challenge to this whole setup is the custom fabric work from BSW. These guys essentially built a whole floor out of aluminium and steel. We obviously had to use the steel structure to hold the fridge slide, but one of the engineering ideas we came up was trying to get the space back that we've lost from the floor. Remember, the SmartCap canopy insets to the floor about so much, so we wanted to try and get that space back, and the guys at 4x4 Megaworld and BSW, they came up with this plan, and something I'm really stoked with. Have a look at this. Gaining this space back was quite a challenge, but I'm so glad we've done it. In this little compartment area, being the closest, I would deem it as the kitchen. I have my coffees here, I have my plates and cutlery. So for the time being, it's really working for me, and it's just quick and convenient. What's also quite nice is I got these bags made from Wild Dog Outdoor. Thank you, Jacques, for making these bags. They're see-through, so you can see all the stuff that you need to access. Here, it's got zips, and you can just pull your stuff out as and when you need to use it. Another thing we ended up doing was trying to figure out where to put the batteries. Remember, when you start to build your tray or canopy or anything of the sort, you got to start becoming conscientious about weight. What we've done is we've put the Blue Nova 108 amp hour lithium battery in a battery box over here. If anything, I'd like to get a proper battery box made out of aluminium or something, and maybe put another 108 amp hour battery in that side of the vehicle, just to try and balance out that weight. Now that we have the fridge and drop down fridge slide out of the way, what becomes accessible is a little unit. Now this little unit serves me just well. I store all my little flimsies, bits and pieces that I use for camping, but specifically I'm able to put my Mojave's 240 watt Flexo Power solar panels in here, which is brilliant. I don't know how we got that right, but it just works. It really works. So yeah, good storage space. What's also really nice is once we got this floor put back in, we obviously went and carpeted. So a really nice plush finishing, and we've just got some nice rubber grommets that have sorted out. But check this out. I mean, I just love this. So, I mean, as you can see, great storage space back. I'm able to fit the jet boil in. Just really happy. And then obviously for the clothes, you know, we have that. So with that 500 watt Vectron inverter, what it's allowed us to do is put a whole electrical panel here, which is quite nice. So I gain all my electricity from the 500 watt inverter here, and then these plug directly into the smart Vectron unit so that I can charge and do whatever I need to. You know, out there on the roads, we need a lot of plug points, and I've got USB-C, I've got Hellas, and I've got cigarette chargers, which are just fantastic. It just works, and very happy. You can never have too many. So this tray and canopy unit, I've got to say, is quite utilitarian, and especially for someone like myself who's been, you know, evolving over the years to become as overlanding efficient as I possibly can. One of the great things is you can store your treads. These are the recovery tread tracks that we use out there. Yeah, so I mean, you know, it's just the moly plating just allows for things like this to be stored, which is just easily accessible. I think when you go and you start overlanding, everything becomes about accessibility, loading and packing. And I've tried to make sure that with this unit, I get a good balance between storage space and loading space. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So not only do we get the storage space back from the now raised floor, but we also now have a loading deck. And that's why I say between storage space and packing or loading space, it's always been about a good compromise for me. So I can still load more stuff in here if I need to on top of this flooring, which is really great. Talk about space. Now this is an absolute gem and pretty much quite commonplace on most trays and canopies. To be honest with you, and at the moment, this is dead space for me. I'm already gaining so much storage space just from putting that floor in, and that's without drawers and cupboards and all of that fancy stuff, because personally that's just going to add weight. I would like to, however, in the future, I would like to put a kitchen unit in here. Obviously costs are quite high, and that just might take a bit of time. So at the moment, it's essentially just, dead space really, but it just goes to show how much storage space you can get from a tray and canopy. I mean, I think it's just brilliant, eh? I just really like it, and I can't wait to show you how we keep this out in the future. This is going to be a real sweet spot, and it's going to allow me to move my kitchen unit from there to allow for further storage space and put the kitchen unit here, which I think is going to be a real winner. But yeah, let me know what you think. What do you think about all of this? Does any of it make sense? Do my needs and wants versus yours, do they kind of line up? Let me know what you'd be keen on getting if you were to get your smart tray and canopy decked out. So one of the great possibilities with getting this unit, honestly, has been me being able to remove the tire from off the roof. I was never really happy with having that 50 odd kilos on the roof with the tire, not just because of the weight, but also practicality. How do you get a tire off of the roof and then back on once you've changed out a tire if anything goes wrong out there? It would be a big job, and with someone with a bad back like myself, I tell you, I wasn't prepared to do it, and actually the whole time very nervous about it. But thank goodness now I can have the tires on the back. At the moment I only have the one tire just because of the main thing, which is weight. I haven't been able to get the suspension upgraded. As you know, it's an expensive thing, and a lot of this stuff I do purchase myself. In the future though, we are going to be obviously putting another spare tire on the back here, so that when we do those longer trips, I've got 2 spare tires to be able to sort me out if there's any issues. But yeah, just really happy to finally have this at the back, eh? So while there is no tire here at the moment, and don't forget, this is also quite a utilitarian thing. I mean, you could put a jerry can holder here, or whatever you want really. But what I have found and what I have noticed is that I've actually started using this as a sort of little table. So I am short on table space, even when I do use the table from inside the unit itself. And I think that might be one of the future things that we end up doing, is just maybe having a couple of extra levels coming out from within the tray and canopy, just so that I've got those landing areas, as it were, to put in and hold and store things. So I suppose one of the big questions is why would you consider or think about getting a SmartCap tray and canopy combo? Well, if you remember in the past, I did have that Conqueror Compact Platinum 2, which was a fantastic little trailer. And what that trailer allowed me to do out there overlanding with Ed and Chris was just have endless amounts of storage space. Subsequently, I've had to sell that trailer, unfortunately, and I do miss that little trailer. It was an absolutely brilliant little trailer. And as a result, I've been thinking, well, how do I get back some of that storage space? And ultimately, with my previous Ford Ranger setup with the normal buck of the vehicle and the Exotech canopy on the top, I just found it such a little finicky setup. Look, it absolutely worked with the drawer slider systems and all of that, the water plumbed in and everything. But if I'm honest, I just couldn't be able to fully access and utilize that space only from the back. The SmartCap tray and canopy combo, look, the gullwing doors open up, and they open up with so much space. The door and floor and everything is accessible at waist height, you can grab full access into the unit from one side to the other, and actually gives back a lot more space. It's a 700mm extension compared to the normal buck of the bucky, but all of that will be revealed and more when I do the final review. So yeah, that'll be happening, and hopefully towards the end of this year. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the walk around and me showing you what we've done to get this overland ready. We are still in the R&D phase, so there's going to be a lot of testing and hopefully a lot more exciting adventures coming to you soon. It's taken about a month to get this all done, and again I just want to say a big thank you to all of you that were involved with this. It's been quite a challenge, if I'm honest, to get this ready, and I'm just happy with the decisions that we've made. Look, time will tell on how it all fares out there. We do a lot of hard driving and we do a lot of hard roads, so I'm just excited to see how it all holds up, and you know, as time goes I'll figure out what works and what doesn't. So I'm really excited to get out there. We've got a trip planned really soon where we go to Botswana, so stay tuned for that. As a result of getting all this weight, next week we go into Viper Performance and we get some performance upgrades to the Ranger just to get back some of the power that we've lost. I think it's going to be a really exciting episode and I hope to see you there. We've also had a really great opportunity where we've partnered up with Terrain Tamer and Rev House 4-wheel drive from Pretoria Centurion. So we also go in there and we look at getting the clutch replaced. Stay tuned guys, keep safe, keep trucking. I'm Ryan and this is 4x4 Ventures. Guys, I look forward to seeing you out there, but till the next one, cheers. Thank you to Ed the cameraman. Stay tuned in for some magic scenes from the next episode. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters, helping me get out on the next adventure. Sign up to Patreon, link in the write-up down below.
I'm going to give the vehicle performance that I've lost. Is just the sound of it.